day Electoral Commission and Central Forcia at the Atuja say about to dintra a banner we nanu kwesiada near Abepimu and say emofra any ahoho edin abam ye de honsem ebebro eno nso kra no ano about to commission at the Abetu just say enipa mako opepe dunsia echiripo eye enkono 16.9 million and a one more etimi a register na sabria me no kase nso de kane mampani yira John Dramani Mahama wetimi ni asofo akohia ene National Chief Imam ama ne running mate na Professor Opoku Agyemang wode wono ho enyina nso so etumi akere na ene dey ewiase eyi esi ho a ene mabunu ye de eka eho ensem ne de ho nsem no ebebro na afikra nso eye swafo a oman wo hwe eye enwumesua ensem so eye owura Mathew Opoku Prempeh de atodwa se eye maame Jemensa na semame Opoku Agyemang ansa na wo free office no se education minister no eka twitiri die pa ena oja eto wo we ni afoforo bi ena yaboa no adon hwe ba komadaroma ye de eba abesomo midi e de fifi hene nana amoako jampa afi yetwa ho ye ba ye de kasem nsem ebebra mu for ye shen semana se ede amamo ede a enche na abato commission ede beto so obi nkratemu ede ato masa Ghana ni bia ntimi nkotro edin nenya edintro abato ngoma foforo kra ene 30th June na etimi ehya ase a ene ye di nyina eba ye ne se eye 6th August na ne di nyina eba na ne se ene form akomako aduasa enwotwe eno achi ene ode eye mop up exercise eye memneda ene kwesiada nso so eka ho ne se nyina no akoye eye enam akomako aduanan ena wode atro ewie ne no ene ne day Electoral Commission ene Central for etumi ahia na ode ato edwase ene nipa bebre no a ene etimi ebetro wono mu edi ne mum ade ba ko a etumi akoso ane se emofra wono a omumfie no eni eye dungwotwe se de mra no makon kwan no omu edin etimi abam sanso ena hoho enso so edin etimi abam ne no na maame Jane Mensa wono ene oda abato commission no ano ede ato dwase emfisa bere ya nkosi 7 December no omehwe no ma ye ho adwuma se de be ya sa nipa nkwada ene hoho no ometimi yi omunyina edin ede afrim.
A number of applicants who presented themselves for registration had lost their fingerprints. This made it impossible for the scanners to capture their fingerprints. This was, however, not unexpected, and these applicants will be verified on election day using our facial recognition feature. At the end of the registration exercise, the number of persons who were registered without fingerprints amounted to 61,995. This represents 0.37% of the total number of persons registered. The Upper East region had the highest number of this class of applicants. A total of 9,244 applicants were found to have traumatic fingers. The region with the lowest number of traumatic cases was the Ahafo region, which had 813 persons with traumatic fingers. It is important to explain that the nature of one's occupation often accounts for this phenomenon. Now to the challenge cases. One of the mechanisms set out in law for cleaning the register and ridding it of ineligible persons is the challenge system. The challenge system contributes to ensuring and guaranteeing the credibility of the register. It enables a qualified registered voter to challenge the registration of an applicant on the grounds that the applicant does not satisfy the laid down requirement, namely that the applicant is not a Ghanaian, or that he or she is not 18 years of age, or that the applicant is not of sound mind. At the end of the exercise, the number of challenge cases amounted to 37,762 cases. This represents 0.20% of the total register. The regional breakdown will be made available online and after my presentation. From the data, one can observe that the OT region had the highest number of challenge cases per population, with 0.38 0.51% of the registrations being challenged. This is followed by the Ahafo region, where 0.38% of registrations were challenged. And then the Volta region, with 0.37% of registrations being challenged. It is evident that most of the challenge cases were from border regions, with the exception of Ahafo. And it gives reason to assume that the challenge cases relate to citizenship issues emanating from the infiltration of foreigners. At a later date, we will shed more light on our findings. The Commission is mindful of the infiltration of foreigners at a number of our registration centers. Additionally, we are aware that a number of minors have found their way into the register. We are confident that the challenge processes initiated at all districts throughout the country will unearth these illegal persons and rid the register of those who do not qualify to be thereon. We are confident that the register that will be used for the 2020 elections will be a wholly owned Ghanaian enterprise, reflecting qualified Ghanaians and Ghanaians only.
Mame Jane Mensa ewie no eno de ato edwa ebiom se ebra womo ebie enkratemu ede to ho nipa dodo maako be se opepe eye dunsia ekiripo empem eye eduakono ene hensia ene eye ahasa ene miensa me 16.963,306 ena wono enya ewo womo nkratemu se wono timi atworo womo edi ne nyina mu no kyese ombehwe na de yifri mu be yie no omatimi ayensa ansakra na abato no etimi edruso.
I'll come to the important subject of the total number of registered voters at the end of day 36. That is the main registration exercise. We now come to the number of persons who registered as at day 36. The number of persons amounts to or add up to 16,932,492. At the end of the 2-day mop-up exercise, 30,814 persons had successfully registered as part of the 2020 voters registration exercise. In a nutshell, the total number of registered voters at the end of the 2020 voter registration exercise stands at 16,963,106. I'll take that again. At the end of the 38-day voter registration exercise, the total number of registered voters stands at 16,963,306. The regional breakdown is as follows. Greater Accra leads with 3,509,805. They are followed by Ashanti region with 3,013,856. Then comes Eastern region with 1,628,180. Followed by Central region with 1,566,061. Then comes West 115. Northern region follows with 1,047,539. Then follows Volta region with 929,322. Upper East comes next with 653,730. Bono 648,408. Bono East 592,015. Upper West 470,271. Western North 465,444. Oti region 353,492. The Ahafo follows with 315,827. Savannah region follows with 295,648. Then we come to Northeast, 288,393, giving us a total of 16,963,306. As explained and all our let the citizen know encounters, these are provisional figures.
Ene day ya me no ka say ewiase eyi de si wo say ye de kai eye mabunu na yetime hu emfaso de a mabunu ewo wiase omo so eye ede ama eye ewiase eye National Youth Day na no na sabe de oba eye mpanifo akache wo enkran ha National Youth Authority mpanifo nso so aka wiase ho a wonom de dwumade yetime ahyehyɛ so a mpanifo hwehwehro ene kopie mu na titire a wonom ede eto so ene se mabunu no etimi efa akoniasa nyina so hu eye COVID-19 ba ye hawa ede abre ewiase ene mpo se wombetimi de wo nsa ene wo adwene aye bibi se de be ya ewiase nso ebetimi akonanim.
Today marks the beginning of the International Youth Day celebrations, a day set aside to create awareness, recognize the effort of young people, and empower them to be at the forefront of national and global development. Given the current state of global affairs, the National Youth Authority adopted a sub-theme, Youth Engagement in Mitigating the Impact of COVID-19, the Need for Youth Innovation and Creativity. To underscore the importance of leveraging on the innovation and creativity of young people and empower them to lead the country's COVID-19 mitigation and recovery efforts. They should be engaged, supported, to design innovative strategies that counter the impact of COVID-19 and facilitate the country's swift recovery. The National Youth Authority over a year now has been working assiduously to craft a response policy, youth policy, that will endanger the participation of Ghanaian youth in national development, as well as facilitate the realization of their dreams and aspirations. As a result, Ghana Youth Policy was reviewed with the help of over 7,000 young people to align it with government development agenda, as well as other relevant international development protocols and frameworks, such as the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, and Agenda 2063 of the African Union.
The youth are the future of this country. And I think that we have been hit very hard by the coronavirus pandemic that we are dealing with. And its implications are very far and wide. And us in government are having to deal with these problems. Of course, government has been through its testing, tracing, and treatment protocols. Been trying our best to manage the impact of the pandemic. As at yesterday, we have had about 41,000 people who have been infected with the virus. We've had about 39,000 recoveries, which is a quite significant recovery rate of about 94%. So we have about 2,026 or so people who are actively positive, and we have to manage. But there is so much that is unknown about the virus, and we need to continue to follow what the science and the data tells us. The youth is very, very key in this battle, but government is also very, very key to address some of the challenges that the youth are facing, whether it's in terms of jobs, whether it's in terms of housing, and so on. So we will do our part. But I just want to take this occasion to congratulate the youth of this country on International Youth Day and to say that the future belongs to you, and we'll work with you hand in hand to make sure the future is a bright future for all of Ghana.
I'd like to commend the NYA for its efforts at enhancing the overall development of young people across this country. The NYA has been instrumental in ensuring effective coordination and collaboration, as well as providing an environment for youth participation in cultural, socio-economic, and the political development of Ghana. International Youth Day is no longer a new subject. As was mentioned earlier, it's been instituted by the UN since 1999. So this day is not meant merely to highlight the invaluable contributions of the youth in their respective communities, but also to promote and increase awareness and recognition of this all-important demographic as critical agents of positive change.
Obsafo madaro ma ibeko amanyosemu kakra ene dey penipa wono ene wotu franka ede ama eye NDC amanyuko no kroya nso ye kane mampanira John Dramani Mahama ene dey woni maame a wayi ne foforo kra asabio obo ne chidom na afi abato no wono matima hwese nyambe adom ne mpo Ganafo aboa no mde abenwa no asan ama no nimprenu eso ebiem eye Professor Naana Opoku Agyemang nene wone ne bo anankopim wo eye mpanifo nchen asofo mpanifo a wono ewo eye omamu Mitre Christian Council simple asofo yi inhira ene mpaibo bi a ombetim di ama wo no wono atumi ede ama wo mo ebiom no wiye no ene okonkramfo nyina epani eho ewo eye Nkrahamiche National Chief Imam eye His Eminence Dr. Sheikh Nuhu Osman Shaributu enso enchen.
I'm most delighted to be here with you together with my running mate, Professor Naana Jane Opoku Agyemang, as well as the leadership of the National Democratic Congress. Of course, the purpose of our coming is to formally present to you my running mate and vice presidential candidate for the 2020 elections, to seek your blessings and prayers as we head into the elections later this year. As you're no doubt aware, over 70% of our 30 million plus population is Christian. And this for me underscores the huge responsibility you have as leaders in terms of molding morally sound and ethically driven citizens, as well as providing spiritual guidance, teachings, and prayers.
I'm here to seek your prayers above everything. That is why I'm here to seek your prayers, to ensure that whatever the outcomes are, that they are first and foremost pleasing to God before they are pleasing to anybody else. Please continue to add your prayers and voices to our flag bearer for selecting a woman in my person. I don't think it is for nothing. Maybe more of this another time. But I'm counting on our Maker for his unfailing guidance. My prayer is that he continues to walk with us and that he also allows us to walk with him. Because only he can guide, only he can advise, only he can direct. And we are counting on him. He's done it before. He's doing it now. He'll do it as we go forward. We need to remind ourselves that in everything it is God we are serving. He came for the sake of the vulnerable. And that is why I find the party attractive, in the sense that from its founder right up to our leaders, the concern is for the vulnerable. He used his power to empower, to create peace. May we use the little power he gives us also to empower and to create peace, just as he has left for us. So we are requesting humbly that you continue to pray for us, to keep the examples of sacrifice, the examples of selflessness, of placing others before ourselves, of placing our country before individuals, and in all of it praying that our outcomes may be pleasing to him. Therefore, I will not speak much because my boss has spoken already, but to thank you for making time to be with us this morning and to continue to ask for our cooperation. We all know we need a peaceful country. We know the role Christianity has played, not only in the country, in our community, or in our families, but in our individual lives. May we let all that preaching that has gone on from Sunday school up to this time count for something.
As we are getting closer to the elections, my fellow politicians and pastors, there has been a practice of people prophesying about elections. I want to say in no uncertain terms that these things are wrong and fake and false, and we should not bang our hopes on them. If I have a car, I have to drive it. The car will not move. God has given the power
to choose the leader through elections, through campaigns, through the ballot box. If it will be through prophecies, there will not be the need for elections and campaigns and ballot boxes. So, dear politicians, these people can exploit you, they can create confusion, and they will make things.
Oswafo man ohwe oman eye ngumesua ehonsem so munyafo Mathew Opoku Prempeh ene da idin sem bi abetu edwa se ebra omampani bo ne din se omeyeswafo behwe oman ngumesua so no ko ne office no na ohwe nkratam ni ade ne sese bio eye eka TCD pa ene na eda ho ne nyina ane se Professor Naana Opoku Agyemang sabre wono ene mebo chidom ede amaka ne mampani mahama no ansa na maami beko no obro eka pi ede egu ho na so ne nyina mu no MPP bai no mmomodin so betimi eye ka no ede afri ho.
Mr. Speaker, in 2016, many ridiculed the capacity to implement the program, citing unavailability, inadequate classroom structures, and other school facilities to support the implementation. Seeing how successful the program's implementation has been with such important policies, such as the double leader program, sustainable funding strategies, among others, our opponents making U-turn and promising a review of the program if they win power in 2020 elections. Except they have failed to specifically say what aspect they will review and to what end and purpose. It's instructive to note that under the progressive free SHS when they were in government, they left on arrears of over 30 million cedis in respect of the 2015-2016 academic year, where the program started with day students only. That has still been paid by the Naana government. That all was paid by NDC in the respect of the 120 students catered for another high-sounding progressive free education in the 2017 academic year. Notwithstanding the initial hiccups, the free SHS program, I believe, is here to stay, and we are confident that the generalities are fully behind it. Let me assure the House that President Akufo-Addo is committed to ensuring that no child in this country will ever be left behind or denied access to senior high school for the sole reason that they are forced to pay for their education. Mr. Speaker, in order to achieve greater access to education, we recognize that access alone is not adequate in guaranteeing quality education with it. For this reason, the government is committed to ensuring quality and relevant education that will produce confident, skilled, and global citizens who are able to compete with their counterparts anywhere in the world. We have, from the very beginning of this administration, resolved to pursue bold and transformative measures to address fundamental challenges that undermine education, including in particular access to equity in and quality of education. Mr. Speaker, do permit me to run through a few. First, basic schools had a high use of fees and levies as capitation grant amount of 4 cedis per child per year that was woefully inadequate. Research conducted by the National Development Planning Commission in 2015 revealed that fees and levies charged to pupils hindered access and effective participation in basic education to those who had difficulty paying fees and levies imposed by the schools. In 2017-2018 academic year, capitation grant was increased from 4.5 cedis to 9 cedis, then the subsequent year to 10 cedis. The 122% increase in per capita capitation grant has contributed to removing the cost barriers to free access and provide schools with minimum amount of funds to keep schools running.
And I'm saying, dear, or day and go a goo apartment house on the Enson Abba Contino, Yakwajaba phone crato, Abayaba, and some to Donoa and a woho.
Hey guys, my name is Oba. As a grandchild, you need to watch the television station that thinks about you. The content that develops you. From Monday to Friday, Green TV brings you Kids Corner. Kids Corner, learning made fun. Green TV, your TV for life.
Fellow Christians, as we are waiting for the soon coming of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, we are to seek for the truth, nothing but the truth. But the question is, where and how? Every church is claiming to be the true church, and the interpretation of the Bible has become what people feel or think. But when it comes to matters of salvation, it's not about what you feel or think, but thus said the Lord. You cannot detect counterfeit without knowing the security features in the original. Find time every Wednesday evening, 8 to 9 p.m. as Evangelist Kofi Kakari and Evangelist Joseph Anani brings you Revelation Hour on your favorite TV station, Green TV. We shall know the truth, and the truth shall set us free. Thank you.
Keep yourself and your whole family safe with mobile disinfectant spray. It contains hypochlorous acid, which makes it safe for everyone, including babies. Eliminate harmful bacteria or viruses on and around you by disinfecting your airspace. Simply spray into the air or use in your hands to keep them clean. When you are with friends, disinfect your airspace. At work with your colleagues, disinfect your airspace. Even when hanging out with family, disinfect your airspace. It can also be applied in the kitchen, on doorknobs, anywhere, anytime, and by anyone. Disinfect your airspace with mobile disinfectant spray.
Ghana for it said the cinema who said a memon common at Sentinty. Now, what you mean, you eat the form you at the Suhonomo. Now, your person, some would do every man of whom or Ghana was say. And until your turns after more money, I was somewhat about you become once. Say I'm on your seminal. Your turns after a MPP, NDC, CPP, and as I'm on your Kubiano, a Shemwa, the Iba Cabatanasa, and Samono, your pencil. Say I'm on summer, say the back on.
NDC World Bank, and your Ghana, and your World Bank, one, and your NDC, Maminka, Moon to Minka, the Beckham, Moon to Minka, and anything a Moon Sono, Moon World Bank, Togo, Yasiano, period. Miss Odani,
say, I in some Sua, say the back on.
Should not feel sorry, as he said, feel ashamed of my now, the same mistake I unfortunately you feel Agyemang, and then we go down we say,
say, teacher for some Sua, say the Babano.
If you are not learning, the devil has for people who are empty. If you are not doing anything, that is when mischief and other things come in. That's why you would like to go with boys. That's why you would like to go and smoke. They should stay at home and learn.
Assemblyman, Nasa and Sembi Echoes and Potter Musua, say the Solomon Sudians Ebecono.
And you see, Apple is doing best. We, the assembly members, don't have any problem with Africa. We have no single problem with Africa. Then you have on my year, can you play now leader bear or you put COVID-19 corona bear. Oh, I said, and a few catcher said, that, sorry. No, we don't do that.
Say DC, MP, Minister B, and some of the man home to Biara, and for Ghana had here. This is a green TV, so a man come up to the Nina, Abra war. And it's a Benada, and you may not watch it, because see, non chrono. A man come on at the Bebro. The sounds so Yawada, and you may not watch it, Gapum cross so, it was so at the Abro. And memory made the which Yame, a Yamaja so, and an ampem, Darko, or damn it. Or Melbourne Commodia, Simon, some padia, and I said, some of the born home meso, oh, yeah, Ghana Hapadia, I did green TV so. Now, Miampem Darko, but doing which Yame at the amount. Great TV, your TV for life. That's why I'm showing you, man, and I'm best friend. Oh, Brian, we are. And I am right.
dase pi se oguso a wo hwe green kase ene enwumre yetwaso na yakọ ensem foforo mu aswafo hwe omen yengumesua eso ononyamfo Mathew Opoku Prempeh asan so esiso people se nyame eyadom a aban no de niam gu akwan mu a enche bia no achetrefo omnyina ebete ede ne nyina ne se eye enwanam anase allowance a aban eye ne se afibia no wode be ma wonom no utimi apagyamu ede akọ nanim ne nyina mu kra no de oye professional eye teacher no ede obenya sika botene 1200 Ghana cedis na wonom so omonye professional for no so benya emu efa me kire 600 Ghana cedis.
Ababeto just say abanye ni mpanyumfo eye nhyehyɛ ahodo se ne be ya kyerɛkyerɛfo ya ɛwɔ ɔman Ghana hanim sei no afi ɛne afibie mu no ɔmonsa betumi aka allowance ni bi enumu ɛna ɔsɔfo no ɛna hwɛ adesua ho nsɛm a ne din ɛne onyonyamfo Mathew Opoku Prempeh ɛde babeto just say ade asasike ɛbɛboa kyerɛkyerɛfo yie pa isan sɛ da ne da nyina no ɛkame ayɛ sɛ ɛyɛ ankɔfo binum eyi ɔmani anasɛ ɔmo nhyɛ da ɛmfoa akyerɛkyerɛfo adwuma no so ɛnu nti sa allowance yi ɔmo hwɛ anim sɛ ɛbɛboa ama akyerɛkyerɛfo nso ebetumi de sika no edi juma ahodo osan so ekyeremu se ade asasike na kyese ombe kyiche no ewo nkyikyemu mienu de di kan professional teachers no omonsa betumi akasika be se 1200 san so na non professional teachers enso ensa betumi akasika be se 600 ya asasike omode ma akyerkyerefo ise ne be ya dane da nyina no omo betumi ahye omadesuamu anase omo betumi akyerkyere schoolfo ade ewo man Ghana hanim sei
to further deepen our commitment to teachers and their professional growth. The government has introduced a professional teachers allowance of 1,200 per year for teachers and 600 per year for non-professional teachers. This will enable teachers to invest in improving and upgrading their skills and keeping abreast with modern trends to assist in improving learning outcomes. The book and research allowance, Mr. Speaker, which was abolished, has been restored to government. We have not only approved a 200% increase in the allowance from 500 Ghana cedis to 1,500 Ghana cedis. Let us not forget that this was introduced under His Excellency President Agyemang. Further to this, Mr. Speaker, this government has laid before Parliament the Ghana National Research Fund Bill, the purpose of which to provide for funds and support national research in tertiary and other research institutions. Through the Ghana Educational Trust Fund, government is providing support for university teachers who want to upgrade their qualifications. Indeed, a staff audit of technical universities and college of education several qualification gaps, and staff who of the minimum qualifications required to teach in those institutions have been given up to 2 years to update their qualifications and are able to draw on these resources. I am delighted to announce to the House that Cabinet has approved proposals for the movement of post-retirement contracts in public universities. The approval provides grounds for streamlining and regularizing the need to retain highly skilled and experienced staff to support the core business of universities. Post-retirement contracts in all public universities shall be guided by the following rules. Mandatory retirement for academic staff of public universities shall continue to be 60 years in line with the constitutional dictates. Professorial grade staff shall be eligible for post-retirement contracts until the age of 70. The initial contract will be for 5 years to 65, and afterwards contracts shall be offered on a 2+2+1 basis, subject to need and good health. Senior lecturers shall still be eligible for post-retirement contracts to the age of 65, subject to need and good health. This approval has become particularly necessary as part of measures to bolster and maintain a critical mass of academic staff to support anticipated significant increase in tertiary enrollment as a consequence of the free senior high school program. The retention of highly skilled staff is further aimed at boosting graduate enrollment and research overall faculty research output and the training of young faculty staff, among others.
Novel coronavirus and as COVID-19 eba omaimu nesenie 12 March 2020 and I shall recorded 2 cases. And Sabria Mino Ekasa de Amania Abato in Ason said the Akudru 41,572 cases ne mum nyame adom wono a wono ho ato mo number 39,000 plus ne mum active cases a sisi sisi a me no ekasa ide nipa 2029 and so arewsem ene se ene de ya no recording cases no ebi abeka ne mum omo a omo atoa nananom ewo nsedo enam covid-19 no enwotwe ena abeka ho ntese omo wu no nyina no 223
Eyade a COVID-19 kodiewo egusu eteteni shema dane den nyina no wobesori na COVID-19 no amani muso anesa nenei si ehwe omanfo a COVID-19 bi atumi adokro ma omunya ayaresade a omdudo enyina 2029 sanso ena nipa makomako enwoche ena sisia no na semprempren omahwe omonkwa sisia no se ka nipa dodo a COVID-19 nti omahwe omonkwa na so mato nananom ewonse dodo a omdudo enyina Oha mienu eni eduonu miensa 223. Nanso se ehwe omanfo COVID-19 bi adokro omo so omato nananom ewonse edo omo so omatumi afa ho enye omayaresade a omo nyina omdudo 41,572. Amanebo no eto aso se per regional COVID-19 yi etumi ateteni hiem anasa omanfo enye bidia na odo ani echem ewo Greater Accra region esanse eho ena nipa mako oha enson ene eduosia ensia ena COVID-19 yi bi adokrom sanso ena ofi ho a na woto aso ewa Ashanti region eho nso nipa mako ohanum ene eduasa enwoche ofi ho a na woto aso ewa Central region eno nso nipa mako ohan 242 sanso ena ofi ho a na woto aso ewa Eastern region 228 na chese COVID-19 no kwa na egusu ekonanim ewo manga na hanum sei
afutuo sonkon ena akọ ede ama adwadifo a wono ekra enema hodo efiri amanone eba mefa say light ho enema hodo a edidi dwuma ewo fiefie ya yetimu bi de say ceiling fan air conditioners enema hodo say impom kra na say eba omo hwe so bitiminya ahyensodie bi ede atare ho se de be ya beboa sanse empanise ensemoninti ena yeche edin na afutuo nyina akọ so bra energy commission ene mpanifo a wono ekra enema bi ehia ya wonde nansa esi ho na omo ye entete ne ho ena kwankyerefo pani a wono ewo energy commission mitre renewable energy and energy efficiency wura Kofi Edu Agyemang ono ena oni green kase etwenkomo no de nsema hodo yi eto yenim
Amaneba efi energy commission ho eba enyina ne se yadom di nefu amakoma miensa ede esi ho echeche omanfo ene omomodi omho ahye enyinam kanea adwumam se ne be ya nyoma hodo a omkokofa efi obi man so ede babeton omanfo no omo betumi ato ne dia na so mbehu ne bobre ansana ometumi aton ede ama omanfo na sanhyiemudie eyade na mpanyufo a omodi sanhyiemudie hyehye so no omo hwe nim se omanfo anase enkrofo omo kwakofa sa nyome ede afi obi man so no omo behu senia esene fata ansa na ometumi aton ede ama omanfo no omo so etumi de di omdwumadi ahodo ewo mo fie ene efie ahodo mu emra green kase ebopin kwankyerefo a ono ene da renewable energy and energy efficiency ne din ene ononyamfo Kofi Edu Agyemang na omo ne chichi nkomo ne nsama ahodo kan nyina ne se eyade asa nhyiemudie omo hwe anim se ebeko na wieye no na omanfo etumi ehu senia ese na efata se enyoma ahodo bi a woton ede ama omanfo no ubehu esomfaso ansa na wato na emom enkoba ne se usika kakra wo penti na chese wo ma ho so power nyoma bi a nhye danse na emfata na chese wo ton ede ama omanfo anesa
wiase adwane agya no tinese se ipejam na enenia ekoso wiase nyina eyepe nti impejamu no eho aba bi hia se sa nipa we se no mo adwadifo no omo hia pa ewo se de bi anase enye yi eno nti ene ye from hanu so momra ne no mu ni nkomo ne nkyerɛw ba bia afi ye peja dwumadie no anase susudua ana standards na afi ba bia ye peja no ede akwakosi ene ensakraya aba ehomra aye regulations no nso emu se ne be yo mbeti ase omabo omo ho na nyame ya aduma yesi afufuro mu a aye de sai dwumadie no ebeye adwuma ya de sai susudua no be dwuma no na anyom mpofuru mu asem na emom na omo ada omo so eno nti na efro yes sane ma no wenum na eton nipa ye hyomo sane ma no moton na no na mechira wo se susudua de ye adwuma no etwom nti say ye pejam ene ye onema no bi won so te say ceiling fan say na ye ni ehun susu bia bia eno so afi ne ye ehun susu bia nti na say ma omo te ase na omo sha ase bo bo omo ho in fact ko enim no te say fan eno so ba be te say air conditioner ene fridge eno so star baba bo ho sa eno so okwa akoto a so hwe se star no bo ho se emra no edimu no ye de be ye adwuma sa pepe ne be ye television eno so sa na be ye ye hwe animu se ifri sa mre kokosi nimfie miensa so no na ifri enema ye bi ye adwuma wo fie kitchen ekokosi office nani na timi anya standards and labeling bibiti say blender microwave oven sane ma we nyina yebuso a ye di ho adwuma ama eno so baba benya standards na asem ni nyina pone se aho ewiase technology sa abefo kwan e fa so ne ma no etumrika nti one tumrika ni nachi obegina no ebedwane agya ne dwane gyawa ne ho sunso aso no se obia sesa ntontro wa bia na ode aba okuro obia sesa ntontro bia na ode aba okuro ano no obro ni fa na dumping na je sa ode obro ho akwa e bola ene ma enye ene ye de bro na no ne fa se yesi ho kwan ene nti na ye sa na for madam man je du so adwadie ho ensem ye nua ba afia fosu hima asisi no ha wode ebre
So head of financial advisory ya ono ene wo Deloitte Ghana na din ene ora ya lati o de sembia ba betudwa ne nsemo kan nyina ne se COVID-19 brei mu akonya kese pa e de ma ye mpanyimfo se omudwane e de omani etoa IMF se ne be ya debt relief fund no omosa e betumi aka bi.
I think one of the benefits we got around about the year 2000 and 2001 was when we opted for the HIPC, and it helped us because it gave government a lot of relief to invest in other projects. If we use the pandemic as a situation to make a strong case to a development partner to do some debt cancellation, you get a lot of relief. I mean, there's a lot of justification for that, and I think the conversation has started, and government should strongly push it and join other developing countries to push that conversation strongly, because we have enough justification to do it. Our debt stock is not sustainable. It's not something that we can continue doing. There are people who are living in luxurious homes who've never paid property rates, and those properties are identifiable. There's no way the person can hide that property. And so if we are not able to tax even properties, then you know that we are really struggling to raise the necessary revenue to support our budget. Also on the point about borrowing, we are in a pandemic situation, and therefore, as you would see with a lot of other countries, over 80 countries have applied to the IMF for support. And so we are not the exception. We are part of the lot. But I think we'll go back to the age-old mantra that there has to be a smart borrowing. We should borrow the money and invest them in self-financing projects. That reduces the debt to GDP ratio.
Mede wo etos e wonse fufu mu dia na chese wo ka me ho ami akọ bookshops ahodo mu ne bi so mse COVID-19 brei mu ne asanso ma school for do na ababet na fie no e kwan ben so e no mo fa so edi omudwuma no aso nkrofo to anase nkrofo nto omonyoma no se mo e we nyina wo benya e bra wo ka me ho ami ye san hwehwe mu no
within the Paul bookshop within the Paul bookshop abra COVID-19 in no say schools in you know at least if you na past 7 a.m. because 5:30 school for up and down you know any do fine and COVID by since March, middle of March, you know school for na ofie can basic school is at the time why slow over biamba the essence for na senior washa so clear exams are you know or to one or two things for their work. Apart from that, the business is very slow.
Within the Madam Evelyn, I'm in books, collab books, stationery and books, and one I'm here. But every time I lockdown, I buy schools, a call close and no, the cine, hwe nkoso adwuma ni de nkoso me dada enkoso kra omo nto hwe omo no revision omo ye omo bibia deda asset textbooks pa de omo nto omo to ade a na bia pen na pencil asa eraser bi ni sa ne manema no omo po omo ma enti aka ye bompa ye sa ka September omo bebie amaye ha na ye ni mara ye nim ne ebeye se schools ni bebie obi abeko school primary KG school koso a na yesu ye adwuma ne koso ye ba ye beda me nada me da we pomada na masori na mwabi enti no ende ye ta na tie
me gina nsem isu e de dwede mu nsem ni nyina aba na wie ye me din no afia fosi hima mama omo ene hye enyado
Uguso a wohwe enwumre no nsia kase ewo Green TV a yatundin se Green kase medin de fifi hene nana amwako jampa de du so eye agodie ehunsem Abdul Baba Rahman Kubaja asisi no ho a wode ebre.
Timrana since a good day when some member ever great Cassia no so. I don't know about Cope Baba Abdurrahman Kubaja. In term passenger free never say die for Accra House of Folk. Now Oko #1 goalkeeper, dependable goalkeeper or Danet Mo now Dapo Mo. It is difficult to go past him. Richard Atta Cecilia and Tia Boba now report Yenya our Green Sports say why extending the contract 3 years at the Accra House of Folk and also a former of Elimina Sharks and Cecilia or Bomwadin Akipi 6 clean sheets during the 2019-2020 Ghana Premier League Aye Council here and Aye Tranketi no we make 6 clean sheets out of 14 games about Accra House of Folk and we share with the performance no and the maiden call out to the national team, that's the Black Stars of Ghana. Our Black Stars match on against Sudan, but because of COVID-19, yeah, cancel our double header. Enti Richard Atta Ochima Accra House of Folk. I stand in the contract at the man never say die for Accra House of Folk until the bones are rotten. 3 years until the contract no ever new year just said 2023 and good news at the Accra House of Folk team and so the supporters of Accra House of Folk. Richard Atta, formerly of Elimina Sharks, was signing and now I stand in a contract at the House of Folk 3 years and I stand in a contract no ever new year 2023. Away from Richard Atta, still with Accra House of Folk now, Cecilia Pobima project, you know, course now we share and I was screaming also now a work in progress at the Accra House of Folk. Rebecca said a big thing bar regardless Champions League war no more CAF Champions League and league no so at the no more but adia a key at the Accra House of Folk say ombetimi complete omo Pobima project no house club no ombetimi complete NT and no current state of Pobima and elkoso ewo scream no so NT a work in progress at the Accra House of Folk. That to say by the end of this year there now omai bibia wo no NT a work in progress at the Accra House of Folk as far as the Pobima project is concerned. Away from Accra House of Folk and away from the local front na yen too far and call amonane and Ramobeka over the UEFA Europa League over Wanderers and a Sevilla boy at the end of the day no Sevilla to meet you